Okay, we're live.
All right.
Hello, hello.
So do you know how to
Hello,
go
everybody.
Hadley?
What was that?
Do you have the chat up?
I'm trying to get it up on my laptop here. I think
Okay.
we're,
Just make sure that you set the YouTube part to quiet or to no sound.
yeah, I have all of my stuff muted already.
And so we're going to give it a couple minutes as we have 3 people in. Oh, hey, Paul Murray,
Okay.
how you doing?
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
Hey, Paul.
Took a break today from putting stuff down here and putting up anything. We were supposed to do the walls today, but to the hell with it.
Well, I'm trying to move my stream back into my back office where it was in the beginning.
Okay.
Until things went topsy-turvy and pear-shaped. Hey, Corey, man. And so who you're seeing here is Justin, right, from Hadleys
Yes.
Famous FPV. We have a lot
Yep,
of
that's
stuff
me.
to talk about. Yep, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Roger, how you doing?
Oh, not bad, not bad, not bad.
No?
Just finishing having a big supper.
Oh,
Turkey.
man.
Hey, Turkey.
Yeah, it's only 4 o'clock here. I'm daydreaming about dinner right now.
Oh, Star Cup, how you doing?
Well, we had breakfast for supper.
How's it going? I always like that. That's always nice.
Yeah.
I like waffles.
Bacon and eggs and beans and the whole thing.
Sounds good.
Roger, did you say beans?
Yeah, beans, eggs, bacon, cheese melted over the eggs. Toast.
Really?
Yeah.
I just never heard of the beans part for breakfast. You just got Henry back from the groomer. Is Henry happy? Henry's such a cute dog.
Yeah, I think my my live chat is a little delayed. I think my connection's a little slow tonight.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay though. It's okay. I just won't be able to read the chat.
So are you watching this on Google Hangouts, or are you watching the YouTube page?
YouTube page. Is there a Google Hangouts? Should I go into that link from my laptop?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want the video to come from my phone because it's better.
James Ward, try and come back to my channel. I found you on the list last night. Val and I were going through my list last night, and I had you on the block list. I took you. I unblocked you. I thought I unblocked you the other day, but I didn't. I had to go to another place to do it. So if you want, come on back. Sorry for the misinterpretation. I thought you were somebody else.
We're so bad sometimes, right? Yeah. Hi, James Ward. Johnny Gomez, how you doing? Is that the baby beast tank?
What are you talking about?
This is Hadleys Famous FPV, and then we have our Roger here.
How's it going, guys?
So I'm just going to start because I think we just get a start, yeah? Because his vape.
Sounds good.
Asking, is that it's a vape?
Yeah, it's a baby beast. From Smoke.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Thank you, Johnny, because I would not have known. I don't vape, so I have no idea. So how do you?
Yeah, I went from smoking two packs a day to not smoking at all. So this thing has been a savior.
So do you add nicotine to it?
Yeah, yeah. I'm running 3 milligrams of nicotine.
So how is that different?
Well, when I started, I was on 8 milligrams of nicotine, and then I had slowly tapered down to the 3 milligrams. Next step is kind of just going to no nicotine or just down. I've been on this level for about 20 days now. I'm just trying to quit so I don't smoke at all. But this has been helping. I feel better. My lungs feel better. I don't cough as much.
There's no
So
tar in
there's
it.
to it.
So is there
What was that?
he said no tar. Johnny Gomez said no
Yeah,
tar. So are there any
yeah, no tar.
carcinogens in it, or is it just pretty organic?
Uh, I'm the juice that I use. I'm really particular about where I get it and what they use. I have to be kind of informed on what ingredients are. Um, I'm leery of anything that tested bad at a high temp because there's times that my vape gets super hot when it's sitting in the car. Juice gets really thin, and when I vape, it'll even burn up the coil. And so when I've noticed with certain juice, it changes the flavor of it too. It almost tastes like chemically or a burnt flavor. So now I make sure I'm super picky about where I get my juice, what's in it, what quality level of it is, and all that stuff. And I never paid attention to that before I moved to Arizona. It wasn't a big deal. In Oregon, where I'm from, wasn't a problem. But now, like it's 160 degrees in the car, and I leave it in the car for an hour,
Oh,
and it gets hot, and I've got to get my nicotine because I'm fiending, and I go and hit it. And I'm like, oh God, what was that? That did
oh,
not taste right. So yeah, there is something to there could be carcinogens in this that I am unaware of, but my lungs and my ability to up and do stuff in the morning has changed for the better. So I think in my opinion, it's helping me.
oh, good.
Yeah.
Nibiru Freedom Fighter. Hello, everyone. Okay, give me 1 second so I can check this out because I don't know what that means. Oh, let me see. Jamming out in the van. Oh, okay. Okay. So, Nibiru Freedom Fighter. Hello, welcome. We're a drone channel mostly. RC enthusiasts, fishing, outdoors, gaming, that kind of thing. So, welcome. So, tell me, Hadley, a little bit about where you were raised, where you were born.
Okay. I was born and raised in Eugene, Oregon, and I grew up in just did the kid thing there. And when I was about 20 years old, I moved to Arizona for the first time. I was back in 2003. At 3, I moved here for the first time. I lived for about, I don't know, 6, 7 years, and met my wife while I was here. Um, Her and I moved to Oregon and lived at the base of Mount Bachelor. And there, that's like a ski town. And there's a lot of skiing, outdoor activities, and stuff like that. So we lived there for about a year. It got to be a little expensive, and then we moved back to Arizona, recouped our money, moved back to Oregon again, and they had just legalized weed when we moved there. So like the boom of everything like skyrocketed. We had planned on buying a house when we went there, and the house price literally started doubling. Well, not doubling, but it went up about $100,000 over a course of like
Oh,
3 months for a house. And
wow.
I couldn't afford the down payment. I mean, the monthly payment would have been fine. It went from $20,000 down, and it went to like 40,000 or 29,000, I think is what we got the lowest quote for, but we still didn't make it happen. So we moved back to Arizona again, and when we moved back about 2 years ago, I got a drone, and that's how this whole FPV thing started about 2 years ago for me. But
Okay,
yeah,
so
Oregon is where my heart is.
let me ask you something real quick. Can you put something in the chat so people know where you are?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just type something in. And so we're going to slow your story down a little. That was fast. So I'm slowing you down.
Sounds good.
Because there's something
Okay.
that you said that I want to talk to you about. So when marijuana did get legalized a little while ago, in a couple years ago, wasn't it? In Oregon?
Yeah.
How long ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you had moved back up. Did you move back up because it was legalized, or did you just want to be in Oregon?
I just wanted to be in Oregon. Legalizing it, that was a plus, you know, because I'm not against anybody smoking pot. But you know, it wasn't the term factor why we had moved there. The main reason I wanted to move is because you get all 4 seasons there. I do like cloudy days. I do like gloomy days. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I do miss that because it's so sunny here all the time. We get rain about 2.5 months out of the year, 3 months out of the year here in Arizona, and you end up missing rain, believe it or not. It's hot all the time. Like today, it was a cold front, as called it, but it was like 70 degrees. It was the high, or 68 degrees or something. You know, everybody that's a local here is freezing, and I'm out there like, God, it feels good.
Yeah, because I'm right next door in Idaho, so I'm right next door to Oregon, and we know that
Yeah.
it rains all the time. I think in Oregon,
Oh yeah.
it's always
Oh
overcast.
yeah.
It's
Oh yeah. Beautiful days though. When you get a sunny day there, it's just amazing. Um,
yes,
all the green, you know, you have to have all that rain to have all the wildlife and growth of plants and everything, and it's pretty. It's just so pretty. I'm so used to seeing the desert and just light brown dirt, kind of reddish color where we live, and you know, it's just nice to see some other color than brown.
right,
You know,
right.
for the lands. The mountains here are pretty though. I do have to admit that. Like in the evening sunsets, they've got a pretty dramatic change in the lighting here because it goes really pink in the evening. So that's one cool thing about Arizona.
Yeah. Hey everyone, we're interviewing Hadley's Famous FPV, and I'm so glad to yeah, because there's a lot of rain. So yeah, we're all doing well. Let me
Yeah.
go up. So Nibiru, am I saying that right? Freedom Fighter, he wants to know what a good drone would be. One that has a camera on it, and he would like to know
Oh,
to point him in the right
there's
direction.
a lot of them. Depends on what you want to do. Something to start with to see if you even like it is maybe like a tiny whoop or something along those lines. Something small that you can't hurt yourself with or anybody else real easily. I definitely suggest a tiny whoop as your first drone. They do have like kits from Banggood and stuff that you can get them for around, I don't know, $70, and it'll come with goggles, the transmitter, everything you need to see if you really like it. And that's a good start because you get a box goggle with it, you get a battery, you get a little tiny USB charger, and you get the drone. And then this, it's not the greatest transmitter, but it does work. And you don't have to do any of that stuff. You know, I know a lot of people coming into the hobby, they just want to buy something and they want to go out there and fly. They want to go out and have just as much as fun as anybody else. And uh, something that's a bind and fly and buying your own transmitter is an option. You could go to like Newbie Drones or somebody like them and buy a bind and fly, get a Tyrannus, watch tutorial videos on how to set it up. You can get into the hobby without having to build one. So don't be discouraged. I know a lot of people say, hey, the way to go is to build. And I do agree with that, but you don't have to do that.
Hey, Kim Phi. I'm going to say hi to a couple of people. We should be doing that. Did you freeze, Hadley? You look frozen.
Did I lose you guys?
You look
we go.
frozen for a minute. Hey, Baduga, Star Cop, Kim Phi, Bill, who is our newfound drone productions, Twerky, Jamaica Girl, hello, Family Fun, Nibiru, Freedom Fighter, RJSRC, Canadian Drone Hub Course in the House, Double A, Star Cop, James Ward. We got a lot of people in it. So I'm just going to go back to where we were. Let me see.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, and let me go ahead and have Kim and Raja go in to say hi to everyone. Go ahead.
We just said it. Hi, everybody.
Everybody.
Okay, so let's go back to that. So Hadley, tell me, I was on your channel and you had something in there, some kind of box that you got. You said you had a drone from a box? Quad box? What's it called?
Gotcha. That was my the spoof video that I did of like getting a spark out of a magic box.
Yeah, that was a magic
What you're talking
box.
about?
I want one of those, please.
That's my magic box. Even the guys at Quad Box said I wasn't supposed to get one of those yet. They planned on making them, so every time you get your $50 withdrawal, you just get what you want, you know. But no, I'm not giving that thing up. And if you can see behind me, I've got a bunch of Quad Boxes. You see that right there?
So what are those? What actually comes? Oh, just a minute. Hey, Ed, Jagger Scott, Net Dragon. Hello, I think I even saw Double A. So what are quad boxes? Because I saw some of your stuff on them.
So Quadbox is a company that produces kind of like a grab bag of stuff where they include a t-shirt, like this one is specifically from them. They include a t-shirt I think there's 4 different levels now. But it's usually $50 a month if you live in the United States, and they give you some sort of tech stuff, like I got like hot air gun, or I got like I don't know, they always send you like something cool, like a stopper, just for instance, like they sent me this. They send you all kinds of cool stuff every month, and it's really, really awesome because usually there's something in there that I need or I will need. Like I've gotten a few different cameras from them. I've gotten ESCs, I've gotten motors, frame. My favorite frame that I fly every day is actually from Quadbox, and you know, it was $50 for the box. It comes every month, and you get a bunch of cool stuff in it. Recently, my wife and I ran into like a little financial bind, so I'm not currently subscribed to it, but I definitely.
Oh, froze. Yeah,
And
frozen.
so, okay, James Ward.
Bad macaron. He doesn't have a wrench. Val, can you give him a wrench, please?
I just gave him one.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Good day forward.
you froze for a minute, hadn't you, Justin?
Yeah.
We missed the last part. And somebody asked if that was a beast tank again. Yes, that is. Oh, Bill asked that if that was a beast, your vape.
Is that better? If I move stuff apart here, I might be able to get some better.
Well, visually it's not better, but you are moving.
Hey, Nibiru. How you doing?
All right. That help at all? Shut down some of my streaming stuff that's going on here.
That's okay. I'm going to go and look and see what we have for Nibiru.
Probably weather conditions.
Okay. Nibiru, you just went to 90s supporters. Because I'm supporting your channel.
Right. Here we go.
Right. And there's the heavy wrench. Thank you all for learning. Appreciate that, guys and gals. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. Gotta write it right. I'm supporting your channel. There we go. So it's okay, because I had to know about Quad Box because I saw it. Hey, Jagger Scott. Hey, Mo.
Hey, Jagger Scott.
Hi, Jagger Scott Mo.
Hi, Mo.
There, I think I got this caught up. There we go.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah, it's probably something I had a gaming system going over here and it's streaming.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think about it. Yeah. Yeah, and my internet hasn't been the fastest lately.
Oh, wow. So you're in
Yeah.
Arizona.
Well,
So it's beautiful there, right? It's clear skies and
yeah, it's real pretty. The weather is impeccable. Like you can't ask for a better winter. I don't think, because we don't really see any rain during the wintertime. It's been like super dry for the past week, and like my goggles just broke. It sucks. Like I did get my goggles today though. I did get some new goggles,
so
so I'm super stoked about that. I'll show you.
yes,
I
let's
got
see.
I got some new fat sharks. So I haven't even taken them out and used them yet because I got them probably 5 minutes before I got on here. I just had to open it and do a little quick recording. But I got the T2s, the fat shark T2s.
Oh,
I
wow.
already put my module in them, and I did. I got this from Newbie Drones as well. It's an Ethics head strap, so it's a super fat one. I don't know if anybody dislikes the way the battery feels on their head or anything like that with their Fat Shark goggles, but as soon as this came out, I put it in for order.
Okay,
I've been waiting for those to come out.
show me the top of it, Hadley. The top. So everything is inside it now, right?
Yes.
The DVR,
Yeah,
everything's
the
inside.
DVR. Yeah, the DVR, you put your SD card in right here. I
Oh,
don't know if
wow.
you can see that little slot.
I can.
Yep. And then when it's recording, there's a light above that slot that it flashes.
Okay.
So that lets you know that you're recording. It's pretty simple stuff. I really like them. And the module that I use is the Realac Pro. This one's got the Achilles software on it, so you and OSD. So when you're changing the channel, instead of having to pull your goggles off, it shows it on the screens inside the goggles. Which is there's goggles out there that do it, but not many, or goggle modules.
That's handy.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for these. I'm so excited to go fly. You have no idea.
Oh,
It's been about a week. It's been about a week since my goggles were working, and this weekend I was able to rig them so they would work. I was able to get about 4 packs out of them, and then they died on me, and I broke a quad. And yeah, my buddy, he let me borrow his box goggles, and that was awesome because I thought I was going to be going home after about 4 batteries, and I had, I don't know, 25 batteries charged. So I was like, I guess I'm going to be going home to go discharge these on my charger. But he broke out a spare set of goggles, and I flew all day. It was awesome. Like, it was the best time.
your flights are extremely clear. There's no distortion when you fly. The picture from your quad is so clear.
Oh, okay, yeah. So about that, like I record every P at 60 frames a second with a GoPro Session 5. I set everything to flat. I don't put any GoPro color on there or anything like that. And then I run it through a video editor, and I change the coloring, and I sharpen the images and stuff like that to make sure that it's produced at the best quality that 1080p can. my computer right now, like I would be doing 4K, but my desktop crashed, and then my new computer I bought, it doesn't render so quickly in 4K. It'll run it, but it like I
Right.
can't watch it and preview it. I have to go to the TV and put the SD card in the TV to view it, and it's just I'm gonna stick with 1080p until I get a new computer.
So can I back you up just a second? Because what your goggles see is from an little FPV camera, is that right? And then you have also a session on your, do you have two cameras?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Let me grab a quad here. I know.
Don't hurt yourself.
Okay. So this is the FPV camera here, and this is where the GoPro session goes. So you slide your GoPro session in through the side, strap it down, turn it on, plug in, and take off for your flight. But this, when you, like, if you want to sync something up, this is just a tip for everybody. If you want to do like DVR footage and GoPro footage, take a stick or something and drop it down in front of your quad so both the cameras pick it up. And that's a good reference view with like syncing something up. And especially if it's a big enough stick and you have the right angle with the camera, you can see when it hits the ground and sync up for your video editing. It took me a long time to figure that out. So, but the GoPro session, it is awesome the way, like, you can record, you can go and take that recording, you can put it on the computer, you can edit it. Like that capability of having HD footage really is like the reason I'm so hooked on flying and uploading videos. Is, I never really played with video editing, and as soon as I started editing my first video, I was hooked. Like, I almost fly just to edit. The whole thing is like a big addiction. Not only building, but
Yeah, when I saw your very
videos.
hold on, drone worship. Hey, Ed, Ibra, with uploading VP and GoPro footage from race drones. There's really no market for it. More people are interested in GPS platforms still. Yeah, I think that's ending though. I think people are going to be really, I think so. Anyway, help me get to 100. A follow and check. Okay, everything's moving really fast. So, but when I saw yours, when I went back, and this is the latest one, I think it's the very last one you did, where you said it was broken,
Okay.
but your box goggles. I gotta say, the music you did with that, everything you did with that was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfection.
That I have to thank to Randall. Randall is somebody that I fly with. He's in a lot of my videos. He's really into music like I am. Like, I'm really passionate about music, but when it comes to syncing something up with a song and everything else, like, the best way to do it is to listen to the music and fly. So you do transitions when you're flying to that song. So when you go and edit that song, kind of where to start, and like we'll have it so it's on a loop. It'll be repeating the song. So if I run out of the song and I'm still flying, I can just repeat the song in the edit and upload it. And then I'll taper out, like, the very end. I'll have it taper off the
Oh, wow. You froze again. I'll wait.
song's getting close to ending. Randall will come up and tap me on the shoulder when I got about 15 seconds or 30 seconds, depending on where he sees my quad at. But that's help of someone else. I'm not able to do that all on my own.
Right. Okay, Jacker.
Yeah, no, that would not happen.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Basically, what I'm saying is there's an elite group of people that watch FPV fighters. The majority of people on YouTube are watching drone stuff that are going to be watching reviews in GPS platforms. Probably, I think, so at this point, if you're trying to build your YouTube channel, probably FPV is not the route to take, because the channels that are already big are going to be the ones that are going to stay big. Okay. I like FPV anyway, right? So we can stay where we stay because we love it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do this as a passion. I do it to inspire other people to fly. Those big channels, they're gonna reach out to somebody, but those big channels aren't gonna do what you will do, like go the extra mile to help somebody get their quad fixed, or help them set their quad up for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I think that's one reason why I've been so particularly grateful to the Canadian Drone Hub is because even though Roger will tell you he knows, well, I can't say exactly how he says it, but he doesn't know anything about drones, but he uses a bad word in there. Right, Roger?
Right.
But Kim knows about drones, so we have someone who's knowledgeable. And then I'm just starting to solder and do all that stuff, and I'm learning. But like we have drone worship, we have Mars. Well, we have a bunch of guys that know something, so
Yeah.
that's why we can help each other kind of figure it out.
Well, and that's what this is all about, is helping each other and growing together as a community. The community is going to continue to grow. Uh, yeah, the big channels are going to continue to get better, and they're going to continue to grow because they're known channels. But there's also going to be other channels that'll cover stuff that the big channels won't. And that's kind of where I steer towards, is I just want to inspire somebody to fly. Come and fly with us. Get a drone. Come out and de-stress. Don't get mad when you break it. Just have fun and know that you're going to fix it.
I would be
And
sad
take the pride in it.
time. But it says Stonewall's saying that message is for anyone trying to grow the YouTube channel, not just be helpful. Remember, I'm here to teach people how to grow faster. Thank you, Drone Worship. I do know that. I'm good info Drone Worship. In reality, the only reason I started YouTube was to share my love of flying. Ed, you're always like that. I steer my mouth towards Welch's gummy bears because they're amazing. Okay, you're a trigger. I'm sorry. Okay, because you're amazing, Dan. Because you're amazing during
That's
worship.
funny.
That's why I had a made outfit did on my channel. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, before we start heading down that hill, um, with the maid outfit, I'm just going to go back to Justin. I think that's true. So you're
Oh my goodness.
I know. I mean, we're just, yeah, I got to tell you, we got some stuff going on here.
Right? Yeah.
I'm going to go back in here because Hadley, let me go and bring your channel back up real quick. Hadley's Famous FPV. You have 500, is it 562? 563.
Yeah, I've been holding around 560. I'll float up to about 568 and drop back down. Been like that for about a week, week and a half, 2 weeks maybe. It's just been holding about there.
Yeah, I think, oh, hey, Jacqueline, I am swearing I'm giving all these people mods and then they come back in, they don't have them. So I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I'm beginning to think that YouTube, I don't know what's going on, but the same thing I hear it across the board that's happening to everyone.
Yep. They don't want you to sub to too many people in a day. I've noticed that, like, if you've subscribed to too many people in one day, they'll take away subscribers, and they'll take the subscribers that you added to your channel. Like, I notice it every morning when I'm in the hub. I'm logged in, I'm doing my thing like I ever do, every day. Either I'm on my way to work, at work, or I'm at home, and I'll go and just check to see if I've got them, and it won't have their bell around them. I'll try to click on the bell. It won't let me add the bell, so I have to unsubscribe them and then add them, and then click on the bell. Then I go and make sure that I make a comment on one of their videos, and it still does it even after I comment on one of their videos. So I don't know what's going on. It's like they're watching us and they don't want us to grow our channels this way. Like, we have to do it their way, which I don't think is right, because any way of growing your channel should be the right way, within reason.
Yeah, I think they don't want sub for sub, and I think they're protecting against that because there's a lot of those channels doing that. But if we're growing a community, I'm not
Yeah.
sure why that's playing into that, right? I
They,
don't know
it
why.
has to be they don't agree with it. They just disagree. They're like, the underlying reason of this is why we disagree. I'm sure that's what it is, but that's my opinion, you know.
So where are you wanting your channel to grow to? Do you know?
I honestly, I enjoy just communicating with people and inspiring people. If I could get 10,000 subscribers, I probably have a heart attack.
You and me will be in the same hospital room, both having.
Right?
Hey, Tank.
I
Hey,
know.
Douglas.
Yeah. Just the fact that I've gotten where I am now, I'm amazed, you know, because when I started this, I think I had 2 subscribers or something like that. When I first started my channel, I got my wife as a subscriber and then one of my buddies. And it was like that for 5 years. So I used to upload a lot of automotive repair videos, and I had a lot of views from that. And then I was like, I don't want to start a new channel. I'm just gonna go delete all these videos, which I don't think I should delete all of them. But I changed the name, did all that stuff, and started doing the FPV thing and uploading everything to YouTube. And like I had like a bunch of views, but since I deleted the video, like views went with it. So I think I kicked myself, you know, kicked myself good there. But
Honestly, I didn't know that happened. I truly didn't know that happened.
yeah, that's from what I understand from watching my view count in the analytics. It went from like 100 and something thousand views, and I deleted like 10 videos. A few of them were, you know, they weren't a significant amount, but some of them are like, you know, 20,000 views, that's pretty decent for a video. And it was just explaining what a common problem is with a car, and to take it to a shop. Basically, that's all it was. Is like, if you're hearing that and it's on this model of car, more than likely it's this. You need to have a technician look at it. Don't drive it. For your safety and everyone else's safety, take it in. Because if you stall out in the middle of the road, you might get killed by a car that you're trying to get around or something. But yeah, I put up a lot of videos like that, and had a lot of hits on them. It was kind of inspiring to make the next one, but deleting them because it felt like I was projecting negative. Oh, your car messed up. You're gonna have to take it in. You know, so I got rid of those videos.
Your own worship is telling me. Okay, so here's the deal. You're only allowed 100 new subscribers a day if you're under 20,000 subs. You know what's so sweet about that? Is that he thinks we could do that.
Right? Yeah, I don't think so. I think I could get like 15 in a day's record or something like that.
Yeah, I think I got 10 one time. Subscribers.
Right. But then how many were there after 4 days? That's the question. Like 4 days later, were they all there?
Yeah. So we can't beg for subs on here, Bad Macaron. So what I'm going to say is I'm
No.
going to help you out. I'm going to give you a shout out. So guys, Bad Macaron is at 88 subscribers and he'd like to get to 100. So please check out his channel and go see if that would be a channel you would love to subscribe to. I think it will be. So check it out. Flying Pig, you're now a moderator because I love Flying Pig. So, okay. So I helped you. Yeah, maybe.
All right. I think I'm going to yep. Bad Macaron, I got you subbed. I hit the bell. All right.
Hi, Flying Pig, EBR, FPV, Bad Macaron. How you doing?
You're welcome, Bad Macaron. Yeah, anytime you guys need me to do a shout out, we'll figure some code so I can do it for you. I don't mind. Yeah, so could you imagine getting 100 subscribers in a day, what would you do with that, Justin?
I think if it was on the daily, like grow. What if your channel is really booming and it's growing like crazy? They'll limit you. Like that doesn't make sense. I don't know. Just doesn't seem right. If somebody subs your channel, let them sub your channel.
Right? Right? I just think, yeah, if somebody wants to sub it, why are you? I think I know why they're doing it. I think they're worried about
Yeah,
people buying stuff, subscribes. I think they're worried about people just going and just subscribing for subscribers and that kind of thing. Hey, Grant,
yeah,
I think it's got to be that because why else would, but I'm not to that level. Yes, probably against bots.
yeah. I'm sure there is bots out there that cause all kinds of issues, and stuff that we're doing is maybe triggering something that's similar to what a bot does.
Hey,
Maybe a bot goes into a live stream and starts hitting people up.
right? Because I
Yeah,
think that drone worship is more likely to get 100 subscribers in a day than we
yeah.
are
Oh, yeah, yeah.
at this point. Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah. He's got a lot of
that
subs.
action.
Yeah. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
I have a bigger following on Instagram than I do on YouTube. I have like 2,000 and something on Instagram, but I've never really focused all of my efforts towards YouTube. I just was posting, daily on Instagram, sometimes twice a day, whatever I was doing, and my following just grew and grew and grew and grew. It was crazy. And it's still growing. Every day there's like 3 or 4 new followers on Instagram. So that's cool. I just wish my YouTube channel was doing that.
Right. I
Yeah.
so how can you translate that from Instagram over? Is there a way to bring those followers over to YouTube?
So there's a like in your main screen you can oh sorry, my gonna be going crazy. It sounds like wife's home. But there's a section where you can put like your link to your channel, and you can link somebody to your channel that way. But they have to click on it. You can invite them in like posts and stuff like that, but they still have to go to your page. They have to click on your page, and then they have to go to the YouTube channel. And most people aren't logged in on their Instagram. So when they go from Instagram to YouTube, it's going to ask them for their email or their login information, and most people are like, no, I'm not going to mess with that. That was a cool video. I'll just check him out on Instagram. And that's typically what happens. That's why, like, I'll have a lot of views but not a lot of comments, and I have comments like if I have a picture that has to go with that video that I uploaded on YouTube. I'll have friends comment on there, that was a cool video and stuff like that, and I'm like, well, you guys watched it, thanks. But you didn't comment there, you commented here. I mean, it works, it makes sense.
Just comment, right? Comment wherever you are. Just comment.
Yeah, comment where, yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to care about that. I'm just glad for the feedback. The feedback has helped me a lot.
Yeah.
There was a person when I first started flying that was critiquing me, and he didn't have any videos uploaded on YouTube, and he critiqued me in 2 videos just to expand what I was thinking about with flying my drones. I was just thinking I had to stay in a small area and some other basic stuff, and like I go and I look, I can't even find the comments anymore. Like they're gone. So I don't even know who it was, but I feel like it was like that saving grace that got me out of the baseball field, because I kept flying in the baseball field and wouldn't leave the baseball field. And everything changed after that.
Hey, Diana. Hey, Weekend Warrior. Yeah, I seem to think we find these places and we get really comfortable, and we do have to extend what we do. We do.
Yeah.
But when did your flying really get honed to be what it is now? Because,
Um, I'm progressing every time I go fly. So when I first started flying, I'd fly every day when I'd get out of work, and I'd race home because we live like 30 miles from town, and it was an hour drive for me to go to work and for me to come home.
Wow.
So I'd race home. I'd try to do my best to avoid all traffic. I'd check on Google Maps before I'd even leave work because there's traffic jams and there's like one main freeway through Tucson. So if I knew that I needed to go around this area where there's an accident, believe you me, I thought about it. But I would race home and fly every day. And I did that for quite a while. And I didn't know that I was flying like angle mode. I didn't know any better. I was just flying, and I had angle mode set up on the quad so it would come back and level out, kind of like how the tiny whoops do. And I did that for 6 months and didn't know any better. And I contacted some people on Facebook that have like a little group here where they fly, and I went and met up with those guys, and those guys taught me what to do, what simulator to go download. And they back in January of 17 is when I met them, right around my birthday, which is the 8th. So my birthday was like I got to meet a bunch of people for my birthday that fly FPV. These guys were like, half of them were professional pilots. I didn't even know who they were, and I told people about it when I got home on Facebook, and they're like, "I can't believe you flew with him. You flew with him too? Are you serious?" I'm like, "They live here." Yeah, I just contacted some people, and they showed me what to do. And come to find out, one of the professional pilots is really good friends with my wife's brother. They grew up together. I had no clue. Through family, I ended up knowing somebody that's been a professional pilot for a couple of years, and that's kind of how the door opened, and I got taught by those guys what not to do when you're flying. My main thing that I can always tell everybody is to stay calm. Do not let that adrenaline take over you, because you'll make mistakes, you'll crash. That's like the main thing that I had the hardest time getting over, because I flew for so long, intense, just wound up. When I would get done flying, I'd be so tensed up, like I couldn't even ungrip from the controller. The transmitter was just locked in my hand. I couldn't let go, and it took a while for that to go away. And when it did, that's when everything changed. I just started having improvement after improvement after improvement. And I can't stress enough to anybody that still flies, that's a good pilot, on the simulator and fly. You'll learn your new tricks there. Don't do them out in the field and out in the ballpark or wherever you're learning a new trick. You can go out and do that, but it's so expensive. I did that for a while, and I just broke drone after drone and quad after quad. I tried all kinds of different things out there. And now I learn everything on now. Try to save the money.
For sure.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What simulator do you use?
I use Velocidrone.
Okay, so why that one?
The reason I picked Velocidrone is there's a couple of reasons. One of my friends that he's a friend of a friend, but he's a well-known pilot. He's kind of like an inspiration to everybody that flies FPV, and he flies on Velocidrone. So I chose that one because he said it's the most real feeling with sim mode on race flight. And I use our Flight 1. I use Flight 1 on one of my quads when I go fly. So like if you see something that's super, super cinematic and there is no list of what the quad is underneath, that's probably my Flight 1 quad. That thing it's like a rock solid. That's my rooster. It's this one here. This one is like, it's my favorite quad, and I don't fly it very much because I tend to break it because I push it to the max every time I fly it, and it's like a perfect flying machine. So like if you want something where you don't have to mess with tuning for very long, I think it took me less than a battery pack to tune this thing and get it going. Like it's race flight or Flight 1, depending on what you know them by, they make the setting up of your quad like the most simple. So,
Wow.
and the filtering on the system for the flight controller it's really good. It's like Butterflight. The new Beta Flight is really good too. I do like that. I did try that recently on this quad that's broken over here. I don't know. Oh yeah, I didn't show this on YouTube yet. So I have a arm missing here, as you can see. But yeah, It,
Were you
it
missing?
happens. Yeah, she's missing an arm. But no, the new software that they're putting on these flight controllers is just amazing. It's unbelievable. And Race Flight or Flight One was like the first company to come out with it. And about a year ago, I got my first Race Flight
Hello,
quad, and
Dublin.
I was hooked. I was hooked after that. It's just so good.
So I've been using Liftoff, and I called Kim yesterday because I cannot keep that thing in the air. I keep crashing. I crash over and over and over. So, and it's
So my biggest suggestion with that is do you know how to go in and change your rates there yet? Has anybody walked you through that?
mm-mm.
Okay, so when I first started flying, I didn't know anything about rates. I just I didn't set any of the rates or PIDs or anything. My quad shook really bad. But when you push right or left on the sticks, or any way you move the sticks for like roll, pitch, or yaw, there's a rate of speed that you can change, so you can slow it down so it's not moving too fast. And that's usually why most new pilots crash, is their rates are too high. I suggest moving them down to around 200
Okay.
for roll, pitch, and yaw. A lot of people will say that's too low, and if that feels like it's too low, come up from there and mess with those until you feel like you can control the drone, the quad, just flying, just so you have, so it's not going to pitch forward and just flip over and dive itself into the ground.
It keeps
That
flipping, or I get where I'm going so fast that I don't know what's
mhm.
going on. It's been really frustrating. And I was going
Yeah,
to get hold of Ed because I thought Ed might be able to tell me how to do it. But it's so frustrating anyway. I'm just not sure I'm going to
don't give
make
up. Yeah, don't give up. The main thing is to get up, go up high. It doesn't matter if you can't see the ground anymore. Just like turn fuzzy stuff off on the game so it doesn't have like the distortion, and just get out there and fly, just to try to get control of the quad and make it so it'll turn and stuff. I used DRL to learn to fly. That was the very first simulator that I used, and there is like a little tutorial in that on how to teach you how to fly, to keep a constant hover and stuff like that. That really helped. Everything to do with a drone is throttle control and small movements. That's all it is throttle control and small. So when you're going to go move and you're like, oh no, and you're going to pull back, it's like driving in the snow. You already overcorrected and messed up. So
um,
um, you got to just kind of let it fly itself out and just kind of slightly move it a little bit more. You'll get the hang of controlling it and knowing what its limitations are after you've gotten that fluid. Okay, it's going this way, and I just need to try to correct it a little bit because it doesn't look like we're going to aim right there. We need to go a little left, and just start with the basic stuff, the little stuff. Don't try going through gates or anything like that. Just try flying around, just to cruise around, because in
Gate,
it's
when,
it's 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 struggle.
yeah, I was going to say, I don't think gates are what would be working as much for me as, yeah, I don't know what this is I'm seeing here. I'm sorry, I was checking out 414 Warrior Poet. I just entered the stream. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. And yeah, that's where I'm going to go with that. That's a good one, Ed. So Ed just said in this, let's see, rats, worded that wrong. Yeah, I thought you did. It says slowing the rate down lets you fly the drone instead of it flying you. You know what, Ed? I'm just going to get a hold of you and have you help me change those rates
Yep.
because I think
Yep.
that's right. Because what you just said about the
He's
small
completely right.
and the throttle
Yep.
is what Tim was saying. But I promise you, on this, I have all my cords, sorry. I was just barely touching it, and I was back flipping, front flipping, side flipping, ground. It wasn't, and I
Yep.
didn't mean to flip. But I
No, it's them super fine movements that I'm talking about. You got to turn the rate of speed, like the rate of rotation down. So if it says 650, that's 650 spins. You know, that's super high. So you want it down low. Uh, like some of the most fast pilots, their rates are, you know, in the 300, 400 range. Some of them are even down in the 200s. So like the
Wow.
having a high rate is awesome. If you can control a high rate without having any deadband and stuff, you've got some serious thumb control. I can't. I have my deadband cranked up. I've got my oh god, I've got everything correcting me because my thumb shakes the whole time when I'm flying. So uh, I really would have learned to fly mode 1 when I first started because the throttle is like I've learned is 99% of the control of that thing is with the throttle. So that's something to think about if you haven't started flying yet and you have a bad thumb or you have a bad hand. I would suggest having your throttle control with that opposite hand. Don't use the damaged hand for that. The fine motor skills of turning is not near as detrimental as yaw and throttle. So that's my perspective. And I've been
Yeah.
flying about a year now. Acro. Been flying acro for a year now. I think the 17th will be my birthday for flying FPV for a year or whatever, acro. I guess that's what it's called, or air mode.
You're doing really good.
Yeah, I've only been flying, yeah, for a year. Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a learning process though. I've literally put down any other kind of influence for my life. You know, I've just put it down. The only thing I focus on is my family and my drones and making money at work, and that's about it. Working, I try to work as little as possible so I can focus on the drones because I think I'm a little addicted. I'm pretty sure I'm addicted because like if I don't fly or do something with my drones every day, I'm pretty grumpy. So like I'm starting to learn that I'm pretty damn sure excuse my language. I'm pretty darn sure I'm addicted.
Got some addiction going. So let me ask the chat, does anyone else have some addiction going? Eva says addicted as well.
Yeah, it's bad.
But yeah, same here. Flying pig. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not true I stood out there FPVing in my underwear in the snow either.
like hell.
Yeah. We saw it. Yeah.
Oh.
He gets grumpy if he can't FPV. I think winter's going to be hard on him.
Yeah, I mean that's why we all fly drones is because it's a stress reliever and stress builds up, you know.
Yeah.
Don't want to make the cat overflow. Yeah, so speaking of which, Kim, you are here, so I can tell you all about this drone and all the problems I've had with it. Like it doesn't even want to come off the wall. There we go.
It's trying to stick.
So
Leave me on the wall.
So this thing, I've been trying to make this quad fly correctly, you know, perfect to send to Kim, and it's been one thing after another, and I just recently figured it out that it was the flight controller the whole time. So I'm just waiting for some flight controllers and getting it out to you, but I don't have any flight controllers to put in it yet. And I'm not sure if the receiver went out or not, but like it stopped communicating with my transmitter as well. So I'm guessing that the receiver went out when the flight controller went out. So this will be to you before Christmas. I can promise you that. If I have to drive it to you myself, I will.
So guys, get a room ready because he's coming to stay.
It always comes in threes.
It does. I'm not going to even disagree with that one bit. And if you get a fourth, you're like, oh God, there's two more coming.
Let's see. Love my drones. I forgot about everything else when flying. Too terrified to think of anything else. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's completely normal.
Selection. Wants to get one built, then getting one to work, then programming. Yeah, I would say that you have to be okay with a bit of frustration when flying. Wow, another
Oh yeah.
present now. What?
Oh yeah, I agree with
I've got
that. I get
noise.
frustrated quite a bit.
Yeah, Kim's getting a drone that he can work
Yes.
on. Gonna have to get his skills ready.
Yep. Yep. And he's gonna need to know how to solder. And I'm gonna make it as
Oh,
simple as possible.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it as simple as possible.
I got a
Um,
solder thing. Do you want me to help you?
so,
No.
so
'Cause I will help you. What is that?
Kim, I do have Flight One flight controllers that I just recently got. I just thought about this. Are you against going with Flight One or Race Flight?
No.
Okay. Um, okay, because it's a lot more simple to set up. It's easier than Betaflight. There is some pluses to it. I just a lot of people want to stick with like a flight controller. I mean, I can put Betaflight on there if you really wanted it, but I really think this might be this might be something you'll like being a new pilot. I've never seen anybody like try Flight One as their flight controller to start with, you know. So it's an idea.
Thanks for coming in, March. I so appreciate it. I know it's late at night for you. And thanks for letting Aaron come on the other day. I just love seeing him. He's such a sweet kid. So when you see Game On, that's Aaron. That's March's son. So that was a lot of fun. So you have a ton of drones. So if you could get any drone you wanted, what would it
Oh
be?
man.
But not counting what you have.
Oh
It has to be something else.
man, that's a hard one. There's a lot of good ones out there. You know what? If I could get a drone of any kind, it'd probably be like a Mr. Steel alien. Uh, I just have never put up the money to build one. Uh, from what everybody has from having Kiss and everything else, that's some pretty excuse me, pretty solid stuff. Um, either a Kiss or like a fully built race flight, like ready to fly, where I didn't have to build it and I know it's going to work every time. I think Flight One, yeah, or a Kiss setup, yeah, because those are the two that I've like. I like the Flight One, but it's expensive stuff. It's not cheap. Like my sponsor, he doesn't have Flight One stuff. He's got other stuff in his inventory, so I get to choose from that I get a discount on. But the other stuff I don't get a discount on it. So it's you know $60 for an ESC seems a little expensive for me when I can buy one for $40. That's $20 more towards the next part. But Flight One is good stuff. It lasts. I like the stuff that's in this one is the original stuff that I put in there when I first built it. I don't know, 7 months ago, 8 months ago, something like that.
Nordic. Yeah. So you have a sponsor for your channel or just for drone flying?
Just for drone flying. Yeah, we have a local company that he picks and chooses some local pilots and sponsors them. It's kind of
Wow.
like a it's not like by competition or anything like that. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like he's helping me out because he knows I don't have a lot of money.
Right.
So, but I did go to a couple of competitions and took stuff from his company and handed it out and stuff like that. So, you know, I I know it is considered a sponsorship because he does give me a discount off of his inventory, and I do promote his store. So I guess we do have a trade there. Um, but like I wouldn't feel right getting a discount without promoting him. You know what I mean? Because
Wow.
I know I'm not paying like rock bottom. Like it's like 5% off. Sometimes 10% off. But that helps. It helps drastically to keep me flying, because there was a while there where I was breaking and destroying a drone every weekend, and there was nothing left of it to salvage.
I knew it was deployed.
So having a friend like that is nice.
Okay, so I'm going to turn to the chat for just a minute, and so we can say hi to everyone. And I'm going to go into the Canadian Drone Hub so they can make sure we didn't miss anyone.
Hey, Eber.
Hey, Blizzard, how you doing?
Blizzard.
Lloyd, a grumpy vlogger.
Mose and Mars.
Just having fun. Star Cop. Let me go up the list. Nordic Blue.
I missed some people. I know I did.
Tornado. Merch is already gone.
616 for you, and did I miss you?
Lewis LP. Yeah, Lewis LP. Yeah, we brought everything down yesterday for the room. We still got to fix up a lot of things there. Today I just didn't do nothing because I didn't feel like it. We'll get some things done this week.
I was going to go outside and do the Phantom, but it started raining and foggy.
Yeah,
raining.
I was going to go fly the Spark in the same plate thing.
Plus, we got snow this morning. I woke up and there's like Christmas.
Yeah, and now we got more.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now we got more snow coming.
I'm excited.
So
I'm excited to see some snow footage from you guys.
Yeah, he ran outdoors this morning, went to start flying FPV, and next thing you know, he's at the window here just in his underwear. Outdoors. I tried to get I wanted to get the camera there, but my wire wasn't long enough to go there.
Oh my God.
Nobody believes me, I guess. I don't know. He's trying to say no. Like hell.
One of those moments.
Oh, that's awesome.
Must say,
oh my goodness.
Goggle found Noah.
Got his goggles on. He's flying. He's sitting there in his underwear.
At least you don't live close to anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
Where I live, man, the cops would be there in 5 minutes, less maybe. Where I'm moving, though, I'm excited to be moved. We're going to be moving out of town, and we're going to be on a little more than an acre lot. So I'll be able to set up a small track at my house, so I don't have to go to a park and dilly-dally with people. I can just put my drone out on the ground and know that nobody's going to be in my yard because it's my yard.
It's too stressful in a park.
Yeah.
It's too stressful because you're trying to concentrate on flying, but you're also looking in the corner in case somebody walks into the picture.
Look, my drone gene where it's sucky. No.
Man, we have kids that are very curious, and some of my quads, they're not safe, and I don't know if it's going to freak out this time when I go take off. Is an ESC going to go out or whatever? And they'll come running at those things. When you come into land, they want to touch it, grab it, and you got to get it unplugged as fast as possible. And
yeah.
I'm all for encouraging them. I'm all for it. But their parents are yelling at them and the kids still aren't listening. That's when I get scared, because if the kids aren't listening to their own parents, and their parents know that, I've already explained to them, hey, when I come into land, this thing is dangerous. It could not turn off. It is a possibility that it won't shut off, and it could go sideways and come right at us. You got to get out of the way. I always tell that to everybody, because we don't know what's going to happen. It's a piece of electronics. I could have landed on just a little piece of dew that caused an arc somewhere on the flight controller, and everything freaked out. And all it takes is a couple seconds of one freaking out, and somebody's hurt. But the kids will come running up, man. They'll come running up and they'll just want to grab it,
Whoa.
And my worst fear is something happening when I come into land. And I'm not screaming, I'm not yelling, I'm staying as calm as possible, because the last thing you want is to get somebody else worked up over it, even though the possibility is there.
Yeah.
So when I'm going to be flying at my house, I'm going to be much more comfortable. I'll be able to get that last little bit of calm,
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and
when you
I
go to
think
look at a tree and somebody could be standing under it,
mm-hmm.
and they weren't here a minute ago,
Yep. Oh yeah, and I always have a spotter with me. I always make sure someone's with me to keep an eye out, and that's why I made that screen so they can see what I'm doing, where I'm at, and they can also look, you
Yeah.
know, so it helps them. And like my wife, she spots for me quite a bit. So there's days where she's like, I do not want to come out there right now, and while you go fly, and I'm like, you can sit in the truck. Like, here's the screen. I just need you to make sure nobody's coming from behind me. I know nobody's going to come on that part of the desert, and if they do, I'm going to see them coming. So I'll go and fly in the desert. And I'm scared of not being legal. You know,
Yeah.
if somebody comes up and says, "Hey, where's your spotter?" and it's a cop, you know, what am I going to do? I don't know if they can give me a ticket or not. But
Okay.
that's like my biggest fear. Also, is that I can't fly anymore because I have a $5,000 fine. You know.
That's why I like it out here. That's why I like it out here. There's no people, no homes, no nothing.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be experiencing soon. I guess after the first of the year. Yeah, after the first of the year, I've been trying to pack and get everything ready and not pack the wrong things. And I hate moving.
Yeah, but you're gonna love it, man.
It can be stressful, man.
Your flying's gonna get better too, because then you're not stressing.
I believe so. That's what I'm thinking. You know, it's a little bit more money a month for us to live there, but it was a property that was used for having horses and everything else. So I know I'm going to have enough room to set up a track and just fly. You know, I think there's one tree in the yard, and there's big section of like where I can just go long range and fly up over the trees. You know, where it's just a pasture, and it's got trees there, and then there's like a bunch of boulders out in the distance. You guys will see. I'll be uploading some footage of that. It's the long range capabilities from my own property, just unbelievable.
Cool.
You know. Yeah.
Nope, they can't. There's no police protocol, and they don't want to be drone police.
Okay, well that's very comforting.
The cops trying to avoid it
because yeah, I mean, any cop I've encountered, it's been typically a good encounter. Unless you're flying where you're not supposed to be flying, you know, the cop's going to tell you to stop.
Some are very curious.
Oh yeah. Some I've had. When I first started flying, I was flying out in front of my house. I was flying just a little. I think I was flying. No, I was flying a 5-inch. I was flying a Wizard, and I was out front flying it. And a gentleman came up as soon as I came and landed, and was talking to me, and I was just chatting with him, and like he goes to pull out something to write everything down, and he's got a badge inside his wallet. And I was like, "Oh, you're a sheriff?" And he's like, "Yeah, I work for the sheriff's department. My parents live right down here." And I was like, "No kidding. Like anytime you want to learn about drones, man, you just come knock on the door." And he's came over a couple of times and asked questions, and as far as I know, he's out flying on his own time. So
cool.
I haven't seen him for about, I don't know, 8 months, 6-8 months, something like that. So I'm sure he's out just enjoying it, just the rest of us, you know. And like I reached out to people, and you know, I was always trying to find somebody to go fly with, you know, because it's hard to have friends that aren't interested in this. They don't have any interest in it whatsoever, most of my friends, and the ones that do have an interest in it, it's a small interest. It's not where they want to have a conversation about it. And my wife keeps telling me that's all I want to talk about is drones, and you know, that like I don't care about anything else. I'm like, I don't care. You know, I recently sold my treasured Harley because I don't ride it anymore. As soon as I started flying, my Harley sat there. You know, I rode it maybe once every 3 or 4 months. I'd start it once a week, but I never rode it. And I just put it up for sale, and somebody bought it, you know, for what I was asking. And at first I was, you know, a little sad about selling it. And now that I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it's one less bill I got to pay for. I can buy more drone parts.
Oh, I know here, having a motorcycle costs so bloody much here. It's ridiculous.
That's why I feel about my Phantom. I barely fly it.
The insurance fees, plates, and everything costs a fortune up here to have a bike. So
Oh yeah, I imagine it should be expensive, you know, because it's such an easy way to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I, I still like writing, but the fear of dying was there, and you know, I never really had it before. Before I went through some things with some friends, and you know, lost some friends on their motorcycles. So, like the thought of writing, it was more of like a nostalgic kind of thing. Like this is a part of my past. This is what's made me who I am today. And like I would go ride, and I would just go for a cruise. I'd make sure I was in rural areas, and you know, it was, you know, midday when people could see me, and just all of that, having to think about all that, I just was like, is this really worth it? Like, I love the freedom, but come on, is it really worth it? People don't pay attention to you, you know? Like, let's be real, they just don't care.
Yeah.
If they run into you, they'll care, but at that present moment before they hit you, they didn't care because they weren't looking. So that's why I sold it. And I'm not looking back. I'm just going to keep flying, and I get my adrenaline rush from flying. You know, there's times like in my last video, I hit a tree when I was flying over a sidewalk, and I spun out of control into the road. And that adrenaline rush that I had from that, I almost just wanted to land because it scared me so bad. I was shaking like a leaf, flying my quad back to me. And my buddy Randall's like, "Oh, you're okay, you're okay." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that scared me. I could have ran into somebody's car." And he's like, "That's what we pay for insurance for." And I'm like, "Yes, I know." You know, because I pay for insurance on my drone and stuff like that to make sure, like, if something happens, you know, somebody's at least covered, because I won't have the money if something does happen to pay for it. You know, I'll pay my deductible on my credit card, but if it's thousands, I can't cover it.
Right. You
Yeah.
know, Nordic Blue did say something. If you ain't using it, let someone else enjoy it. So if you're not using
Yep.
it, that was the best thing to do. I think so too. And Tronado was saying that, and I'm assuming when he says break up, he means crash. I don't know. Phil, you Hadley, music and drones are my life now since my
Yeah.
last breakup life has been so great.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
way
Corey Man said, "Rest in peace, Project Blue Falcon." I agree with you there, man.
right.
That guy was awesome. He was one of the helping hands to um, like helping me through a lot of stuff with building drones and stuff when I first started, because I didn't have anybody, and it was like him and Bardwell, and I I preferred Project Blue Falcon because he was a gearhead like me, you know, and he was into drones. So
Right.
um,
So
yeah, you know, that's another reason right there I quit.
how much is insurance? Everyone's asking.
Well, here in Quebec, the insurance for a motorcycle is over $1,000 a year.
Everything means drone insurance.
Then, oh, you're talking about drone insurance? Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Oh, so the drone insurance, so I have my AMA license, so that's one insurer, but that's only for at the AMA fields and like events that we go to, like if you go compete or whatever, it covers the insurance of that event if something happens. And then I have my renter's insurance, which I don't need renter's insurance, but I do carry renter's insurance just for this fact of you know, it's on me. I think I pay $30 a month for the renter's insurance, and then I have a small additional insurance through my automotive insurance as well to help cover if something is to happen. If I was to own a house, I would make sure that I had like talk to somebody like you own your house and you fly drones. You need to make sure that you have what's called an umbrella to protect your house and stuff like that. Because if you crash a drone and it burns somebody's house down and somebody dies, like you're going to need some of the best insurance to cover something like that. And like you'll lose everything if you don't have that. Like you'll lose your house and everything else. I know that for a fact. But you just make sure you're insured. You treat it like as if you're insuring anything, like your jet ski or your dirt bike. If you have a dirt bike that's not insured, you probably should insure it. Just for the fact of if you run into something, you know, it's like a drone. Drones are dangerous. They can catch on fire. Like that's the main thing, is a fire can take somebody's whole home, everything they own.
I'm a little
And
confused, Hadley. So let me back up. So are you saying that if you get home insurance, and I'm reading Jake Blackburn's, that it'll cover you flying drones?
It'll cover you as yourself. I had the unfortunate event of learning this when I had an accident at home with a gun. It shot me and someone else that was visiting. I learned from our insurance that it covered me for my act, which was it was an accident, but it was still considered an action by me. Somebody else was also hit with the bullet when it left my body, so I had to fit the bill for their medical bills and all that stuff. And my renter's insurance covered all of that. And so, like your situation with your drone, and you're out flying it and something happens and it's a personal situation like a personal injury or whatever, your renter's insurance will kick in and help. You just have to contact them, tell them what happened, and then they'll kick out money to that person to cover it. And like my renter's insurance, I made sure that I have my cap is $1 million. So if I have an accident or something, the cap is $1 million. When I had my insurance, when the accident happened, that's why I have such a messed up hand. Is I set a gun down and it went off. It shot me and it shot someone else. Technically, it ripped through my hand and went into him. And that was a lot of money. My cap on my renter's insurance then was 250,000, and it was sucked right up by him alone. They gave him the whole 250,000, and there was nothing left for me. But like the damages in the house were covered and stuff like that, and he was given that money because, technically I accidentally shot him. I felt horrible for the longest time over the whole situation. But there was a recall on the gun. It was known for doing that. If you set it down hard, it would drop the hammer if it was chambered and go off. So,
No,
in
Jake,
hindsight,
I don't think it's difficult. I think we're not sure of what we're saying. So Hadley, I'm going to say it a little different. So if I'm flying a quad at a park, my homeowners won't cover that.
Yes, it will. It'll cover you, whatever you're doing.
If
So
I'm
if they wanted
if
to,
I'm not
if
home,
you, if so, even if you're not home, so that's the thing about so like a personal injury or whatever, you have insurance on you, your house, and everything else. There's a if you read everything that has to do with your insurance, it'll tell you what they will cover for you. Like, say you get in a car accident and your automotive insurance doesn't cover all of the damages.
right.
Normally, somebody's insurance will cover what's left, but some insurance companies will sue. Like if they know that you own a home, will sue you for that difference off of your homeowner's insurance, and that'll cause you to have to pay a deductible for your homeowner's insurance as well. And
Uh,
yeah, so that's where there's still insurance money there for them to go after, other than your automotive, if you own a house. So and it differs from state to state and from country to country as well. I know here in Arizona, that was the law, is like that I'm on the hook for everything, when that accident happened. And it happens, accidents happen and stuff like that. But with a drone, I think about the same thing is with a gun, because it's pretty much just as dangerous as a gun, especially in the wrong hands.
so I got to tell you,
But
I had no
yeah.
idea. I mean, I didn't even know I had my roof paid for through insurance and a bunch of stuff. I didn't even know they would do that. Someone came over and said, if you need this done, um, the winds and everything causes, they'll cover you getting a new roof, and they did. I had a deductible,
Hmm.
but they didn't. So I guess it's just I'm confused too. So I'm going to talk to my insurance agent and find out
Yes,
how much
yes.
is covered.
Always talk to them. They know exactly what you're covered for and what you're not.
And I think
And
that's what we're all going to have to do.
that's a big deal.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no,
No idea.
that was one of the first things I did when I first started flying. I was like, man, this thing can be dangerous, because I had a little teeny tiny one I ran into myself with, and it cut my arm. And I'm thinking, well, I've got this big one here. I've got a 5-inch quad that weighs, a half a pound or a pound with battery and everything. and it's traveling at upwards of 60 miles an hour, this can really hurt somebody. Like, this could probably accidentally kill somebody if you let it get out of control, you know? And the first thing I thought is I need to get insurance. First thing, I got to get insurance. I got to make sure my insurance covers it. I looked into all kinds of different companies. There's a lot of companies out there that will cover you. Like, even if you have like renter's insurance from one place and it gives you better benefits for your house, like if you were to have something happen, like a break-in where the deductible is like super low, and then this other renter's insurance, the deductible is higher, but it covers drones. I mean, it might be worth it to have both. I don't know if you
Wow.
can have both, but I encourage insurance. Just get it.
So I'm
Don't
thinking
hesitate.
that Tim and Roger are pretty safe because they live so far away from everyone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, chop the end, my little finger off with my quad picking it up. Then over with TX hanging
Wow.
and armed it in my hand. Then I learned double switch arming. Oh my gosh. To
Yep.
never put the rifle
Oh, yeah.
down.
Yep.
They can either slither around the trigger and you're not knowing it, pick up snake. Where do you
Yep.
live, Mars? That's throwing around your gun.
Yeah, no, he's right. No, that's
Mars,
100% right.
No, I'd be very upset if I put my gun down and looked at a snake hanging from it. Move, Mars, come on
Like a
out.
branch.
It doesn't happen. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I've talked to a few places as far as I've been informed to cover damage for this property or personal injury. You have to register your quad. And you also have to have UAV covered. Okay, that happened in America.
Yeah.
It did? Oh, then I'm gonna have to come over to Australia. I don't like that. Oh, yeah, my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be some new laws coming here pretty soon.
Well, and I had life
Yeah.
insurance for my nonprofit, which covered me up to $1 million. But in case anything went wrong, at least we'd have that. But I wonder if you could just get that kind of liability insurance just for flying a quad.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
It's a great
Yeah.
big deal, but
I think if I remember right, I think Allstate is one of them, or State Farm in the United States here that do cover you, that you can get a liability only.
On YouTube.
yeah.
The game wouldn't work at all.
Okay.
I was just listening. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, okay.
I just listened. It seemed funny at the time. Okay, Rooster Doodle Doo. How's it? Oh gosh. Okay, JBS is in now. You can bet. I have insurance on my Mavic Pro. Very cool. I don't own a gun, but please be careful with your guns and rifles. Yeah, I am. Mine is totally
safe. I still carry.
People's.
I still carry and all that stuff. I didn't stop doing that. I still have my guns. I just take a lot more caution. A lot more. Oh yeah, yeah. And then it was a brand new gun too. You know, the way everything happened is just retarded. You know, you set something down and it goes off. It just doesn't make sense to you.
No, that would.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't go back. You couldn't go back on a gun manufacturing company because it was
that's a whole story. But yes, it does. It does go back on them, but the actions of us is not covered by them. Just the results. The results is what's covered by them. So they'll fix the gun and stuff like that, but you're still on the hook for shooting somebody. So. Yeah, it was a lot of shit to deal with, and a lot of stress, like unwanted stress. You know, like even after the fact, you know, I still got that bad feeling for myself. You know, like I feel bad. So, you know, that's the one thing I got to live with. But you know,
But
it'll be
he's
something that'll probably
okay.
bug me for the rest of my life.
Is your friend okay? The one who got shot?
Yeah, yeah. He did a lot better than I did. I was so worried about everybody else and the whole situation. On my way to the hospital, my heart stopped beating for about 3 minutes.
Oh wow.
Um, it severed my ulnar and medial artery in my wrist here. So there's two arteries that run up into your hand, and it severed both of those. And I didn't pack it, I didn't wrap it, I didn't do anything. I wrapped a belt around my arm, thinking that was enough because everything we were taught, you get shot in the arm, it's not going to kill you. Well, you get shot in the right spot, it can.
Oh
uh, yeah. So, anyways, I on the way to the hospital, I fell out, and that's there's a lot to it. I go to church now. I didn't go to church before that happened, so there was a lot that happened when I was out for the 3 minutes, according to my conscience. But
Right.
yeah, it was a life-changing event. Yeah, and my friend is good. He's a mechanic. He still works on cars every day. I'm sure his hand aches when it's cold out like mine does. Because when it left my hand, it went into his left hand and set underneath, like it went in here and stopped back here sideways. And that had to have done some damage, and it was a hollow point Winchester round out of a 40 cal pistol. So it wasn't like it was a small bullet. It did some serious damage to me, and enough to him to affect him. I mean, he was back to work about 2 weeks later. I didn't go back to work for about a year and a half. So if that tells you the damage that was done to me, it severed my ulnar nerve and my medial nerve as well. So like there's some severe nerve damage done to my hand. But always be safe with your guns, man. Always. And if you have a new gun that's like a brand new line, be cautious about buying it. Sometimes they do release them with manufacturer defects, so just be conscious about it. I was so excited to get the gun because it's like the new thing. It was a really small pistol, compact, and it held 14 rounds. And they don't sell that gun anymore. It's not even on the market to be sold. So, it happens. Sometimes something's too good to be true,
It hit you in the worst place.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
So
Yep.
did
It could have. I mean, it could. I could have not come back from that. The doctors at the hospital that I went to, they saved life. Um, like I've always told everybody, I got jump started, and I swear after I came back from being jump started, I'm smart in a lot of ways, but in other ways, I'm much more bullheaded, I guess, or just don't listen.
Yeah.
Like if somebody's, I don't hear them unless I'm focused on them. So I think there's a little bit of brain damage there.
that's a right. You don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
Hey,
Full-time
yeah,
jugglers.
maybe it made me a better pilot,
Full-time jugglers
know?
would like to know, do you find it affects your flying, your accident? Does it?
Okay, so two reasons I fly. I don't know if I've told anybody, but from that event, I have PTSD. So it helps drastically with my PTSD. So I don't have to take any medicine for it or anything like that. That's the one thing that it does for me that it's a big deal. I'm not having to go see a psych doctor and take meds and stuff like that. There is times where I do have manic moments, and I just make sure I just stay calm and don't go nowhere. But it does. This is like my passion is to deal with my PTSD with staying. If you can stay busy, you can keep that the bad thoughts of fear and everything else that come from PTSD away. So that's why I fly. And then the other reason I fly is to help find people that are like me. Not necessarily that have PTSD or anything, but need Like, say you're a prison guard and you work at a prison and you work all the time. You don't have a lot of time or effort, or energy to go out after spending time with your family to do anything, but you want to go to the park with your kids. Those are the kind of people I'm looking for, because they don't have a lot of energy because they're working so much, but they want to get out and exert some of the frustrations that they have. I know that a prison guard has got to be frustrated, and that's a person that could afford it and probably could use it more than me.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I'm out here for. Is like my whole thing is just to inspire somebody to fly, and to try something so they don't look depressed, angry, or sad, or any of that stuff, so they can, get in touch with the happy side of their life.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that,
that's very cool.
yeah,
So the PTSD
yeah.
stems from the gunfire, the gunshot.
I think it's more along the lines of, it's not from the gunshot. I don't even think it's necessarily from the accident. I think it's like from what I saw in my mind. I don't know if it was real or not, or if it's make believe, but like I had an out of body experience,
Hmm.
and that's what my PTSD is about. What I saw when I was out of my body. It's the fear of not making amends with my life and doing what's right, um, doing good in this world. Because before I wasn't always walking the right path, and I wasn't always doing what was good. I think we all have a story like that, but I just don't want to. I don't want to be that person I was because of what I saw when I was out. I want to step the other direction if it's possible. From this point forward, I don't know if it is, but what I saw, it freaked me out. Freaked
Okay.
me out a little bit.
So it wasn't
Yeah.
gentle towards the light, was not what you were seeing, where you're floating and
Uh,
kind of going with
no.
you.
Well, so what I saw was like I saw a lot of people in a waiting room, that were like friends and family of mine and my buddies. And then like I flew, like as if I blinked, and then the next time I like a almost like a clip in a video, and I was standing in like the middle of this area. There was like, I think it was grass. It was kind of a green color underneath us, and like I was communicating with like a family member that had been dead for years, and they looked younger and everything else, and it wasn't like we were talking like verbally. It was like they were in my head, and
Mhm.
like that whole situation, what happened there, it's like I've seen some movies like this happened back in 2011, and I've seen some movies since then, since this happened, and like you could ask my wife, like the stuff that I saw is like what I've seen in some of these more recent movies. um, and it just kind of it touches home, like if that, like, am I dead? Sometimes I ask that, like, is this like God testing me or something? But
Mm.
most of the time it's like I go to church.
Sure.
That's all I'm gonna say is like I go to church now, and I was not a believer before, and I believe now, and I don't think it matters what denomination that you're praying to, what church you're going to, who you're praying to. I think it matters if you're praying or not, and believing, um, believing it. I think that's like the main thing is to believe in that, and you could be praying to whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't think, from what I saw, it does not matter. It's we all have a spark of light in us, and that light came from somewhere to come to these bodies here, and then it goes somewhere else. And it's like our conscience is awoken when we're here, and when we go somewhere else, our conscience is awoke. So I just what I learned from that situation was just good. Don't hesitate to do good. If you could help somebody, and that that they could use your help a minute, just do it. Like, that's the one thing. I just pay it forward. Like it goes a long ways. It really does.
Right, right. So it sounds like
Yeah.
that your experience, so it was traumatic for you. Of course it was. It
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
actually um, made you a better man.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, yeah. My wife said it was really hard to adjust to who I had become because I wasn't the person that she had fell in love with and married. Um, I was pretty rough around the edges. I had an end goal of I'm going to get rich, and this is the way I'm going to do it. And I had a plan, and it was working, and everything else, and it was, you know, it was a good plan. I was flipping cars and I was buying cars and selling cars and making drag racing cars. I was doing all kinds of stuff to make money as a mechanic on the side and at work and everything else. And one day that accident happened, changed me immediately. Like I hated going to work after that. I hated working on cars after that happened. Um, there was just so much that changed in my life. Like I was not me, and it took a while for the people around me to accept me for being me again. Like like I feel like I was like awoken or something. Like the part of me that was dead and gone, because all the bad that had happened, and I just you just kept and not looking back and trying to fix what had happened to me, in my lifetime. So like I think it did make me a much better person and much more caring, to what happens in somebody else's life, not just my own. Because before I didn't care what happened in someone else's life, and that's horrible. That I think about it now. Like I would never think like that again. But there was a time that I didn't care if somebody was starving across the street and I had a fridge full of food. And that's bad. That's not a good way to think. And that's why I'm going to step on the right foot and do what I think is right now. In my opinion, from what I saw, I can't tell you that it's true. It could be all a hallucination, like scientists say. But just in case, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, I believe in that. Scientists told me this.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean?
I don't see any reason why, if it helped you grow, whether it's true,
Yeah.
not true, whatever, it was what it
Yeah.
needed to be for you, because we have
Oh,
defining
yeah. Yeah.
moments in our life, and however they
Yeah.
come to us, and whoever sends us those moments, I think that we're blessed to have them. So you're
I
blessed to
agree.
have that.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah. And it's funny how that all happened too. Like the whole accident. Like I've always thought that everything happens for a reason, like you're saying. And my grandfather, for the longest time, he taught me to shoot guns, taught me to handle guns, taught me everything about guns. And about, I don't know, it was like almost a year to the date since he had passed away when that accident happened. And before he had passed, he wanted me to get rid of all my guns. He said, get rid of all them guns. You don't need them. I'm going to take them all away anyways someday. And I thought, is this a dementia moment for my grandfather or what? And I was like, I looked at him, I'm all, Grandpa, what are you talking about? Like, I've got your gun safe that you're on your deathbed and you told me to take your guns and sell them. He's all, yeah, I want you to sell them all. Keep them. Don't keep them. Just sell them all. And I did do that. I did what he asked. But you know what I didn't do? Is I didn't not buy anymore. And I took money from that and I bought that new fancy gun. And then that accident happened. So like I always think everything happened for a reason. I sometimes tell myself, you just asked for it, man. That was a dying wish for somebody. Like you asked for that.
I tell you,
Yeah.
I think most people in here, if we asked if there was a defining moment for them like that, they would say yes, that there was some defining moment. And for
Yeah.
some of us who are a little more hard-headed, we need big defining moments.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I was one of those people that it took that. And you know, everybody has their moment, it'll happen. Everybody passes away at some point, we don't live forever. And I always tell everybody, just remember, if you have the out of body experience, you better start begging for forgiveness right then, and and everything else right then. Don't hesitate, because if you start noticing that, okay, you're there. You're experiencing what I experienced.
Right, right.
and you know, and that's all I could say. You know, live life. You know, the God I pray to, He forgives. So that's the way I look at it. You know, he
Yeah.
he forgives. So, I mean, that's my opinion. You know, and everybody's going to have their own opinion. And I'm not going to look down upon somebody else's opinion. You know, I'll take it for what it is because they have that passion of that opinion for a reason. So, you know, I'm open to somebody saying that it's going to take something like that happen to me for them to believe, and I'm always going to say I wish you could believe without it, but if that's going to be the way it's going to happen, that's going to be the way it happens, you know, because everything happens for a reason, you know,
Yeah.
and you can't change it. You really can't. I mean, I guess like I always tell my wife, there's something that I'm living here for. There's something that I got to do more. You know, maybe there's somebody that I'm going to save one day, or maybe there's somebody that I'm just going to hand $1 to on the street corner. It's going to save their life. But I feel like I'm here for a reason, you know, and it's for something good. I don't feel like it's, you know, I have to look at it as there's a purpose to this, and that's what gets me through. And flying the drones, like I feel like I'm reaching a lot of people, so maybe this is it. You know, you never know. Maybe I'll reach somebody that it could change their life, and they won't be depressed and go through all the stuff that people are going through when they're depressed. You know, I mean, people do some crazy stuff when they're super sad. So if I
Yeah.
could stop somebody from doing that, like that one person, like I've succeeded, you know, in my life. That's the way I look at it, and I'm just
Mhm.
going to inspire people. That's why I'm here,
Yeah.
you know.
Full-time jugglers, thank you for coming in. Thank you for being part of this.
Bye, full-time junglist.
I know everyone has a choice of where they land in the evening to watch their shows and stuff, and I just appreciate that you came here. I'm going to tell you, Hadley, I really do believe that sometimes our purpose can be as simple as bringing love into this world and care and concern into this world.
Yeah.
Because we know that the crazy stuff happens. We know
Oh
that
yeah.
people are not kind to each other. We know that
Oh
people
yeah.
can be very mean. And for me, I think that sometimes just continually pouring, not spewing hate or anger, but just putting love back in the world is where we need to be right now. And
Yep.
just some peace in the world, because I think we need that too. And if you're
I
coming
agree.
and you've done this change and that's what you're bringing, I think, and it's funny because it's funny to go, and so FPV does this, but actually, for a lot of people, it brings peace. It
Yeah.
does. It brings peace. When I see the guys flying out there and just such beauty, like your last one was so beautiful, the music so beautiful. I mean, it just made
Thank
me
you.
feel
Thank
so
you.
better. I think
Thank you.
that this,
That's inspiring. Yeah. Yeah,
that
that's
is,
very inspiring. It goes right here. Yeah.
yeah, and
That's why I do it. You know, if I can, and if that one video is what you remember a year from now when you're out flying somewhere, like in a year, and you're out going and you're flying, and you're like, I remember this one video, and it's my video that you remember, I have succeeded completely, you know.
well,
And that's what I'm going for, you know. I don't want to be the famous guy. I like the Hadleys Famous. That's like a an oxymoron because like my whole goal is always to not be famous. I just if you know who I am, I guess I'm famous, but I don't want to be famous. I just want to inspire people. Like if I can inspire the next Mr. Steele, I've done my job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to be able to fly like that guy. You know, maybe someday, but he's going to keep excelling too. So, like, there's no beating that. You know, like Snake FPV down in Australia, man, that guy is amazing. Like, I watch him fly, and it just blows my mind. I don't know how he can do it, and he's my age. You know, like, but
right.
you know, he inspired me. You know, Mr. Steele inspired me. The local pilots here in Tucson, they inspire me. Um, yeah, there's like Genie FPV. He's a heck of a pilot, and I went with him to the FPV Jamboree. I think he's came into the chat a few times in the Canadian Drone Hub, and like I told him before we left, I'm like, dude, I have a feeling if you come with me, you will win this freestyle competition. And guess what happened? He won. He won. He got that fancy boosted board and all this other stuff. Like, he won. Like, it wasn't even a joke. He won by a landslide in points too. And like, I've always watched him fly, and like, I can tell that he's a good pilot. Like, he's got that quad completely under control. And there's been a few times where like I see him crash, and I'm like, "You crashed? That's shocking." And he's like, "Yeah, I was trying to do this, and I knew I was a little out of place, but I still tried to force it." And I'm like, "Does that work usually?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "Why are you still doing it?" He's like, "Because eventually it will." And I'm like, "Oh God, I can't even think like that."
Eventually it will. That's
Yeah,
not
eventually,
how I
yeah,
have to think.
yeah,
I can't do it, but at some point it's going to look like that. So I just keep
yep, yep, yep. That
eventually
is the truth, and
that.
that's how I had my goals set at one point. Just like, I want to be there, and I got to that point one day, and I was like, man, I can actually fly this thing around. I can do what I want with it. I can go through whatever little gaps with it. And I'm talking about my little Leader 120, that little tiny quad here. If I can get it off the wall. Here we go. This little guy here.
That's
So
cute.
this little quad, yeah, this little quad I can do anything with. And like, I can fly underneath park benches, you name it, I can do it with it. And I've been trying to adapt my control capabilities from this to a bigger quad, and it's coming along. It's just not near as like, I just want HD footage from this thing, and I'd stop flying those, but it's just not going to happen. I mean, I could go with a run cam split or something, but it's never going to fly the way this does, because it's going to add more weight to it, and like I just need something to fly identical to this. And I've tried changing my rates on the quads and reducing how much throttle they have, so reducing the thrust for the lift on it and stuff like that. I've tried, but I've never gotten it anywhere close.
Good
This thing
evening.
is a special little guy.
So I have to just go somewhere for just a second. Roger,
Okay.
can I leave you and Kim to do your thing with Hadley? I'm going to take off the present. So you guys.
Well, okay.
You could, for that little quad you just showed us, you could always use an SQ11 or something like that. It does pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the little Firefly, is good too.
Yeah.
But anything, I think like, I've tried using different batteries, like anything over 450, I tend to like hit the ground.
Huh.
So like, I think I just need a bigger one. Something made from this company, Full Speed. If he's watching, please make something that's a little bigger and a little more peppy, that I can carry a GoPro with. That's tiny. My friend Chris Wilson, he's out of Eugene, Oregon. He's a frame designer, and he's got some ideas for some quads that I haven't seen, but I think we're going to be seeing a lot of micro quads that'll be doing some amazing things, like that Acrobrat that made by Rotor Riot. That's one that runs like a run cam split. And I was thinking about building one of those, and I was like, no, I'll just wait until Chris and his group over there in Eugene, they come up with their frames, and I'll probably build one of those and just wait till then. Because I know, save the best for last, right? Don't buy something else.
Okay. Hey, Carpenter Rick, how you doing? Check out the chat there. So so many guys. See what's going on. Welcome, welcome. Jump off. I find 5-inch easier for some reason.
Yep.
Sorry,
I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think mine is the throttle control, because 5-inch, it takes a lot more throttle control, preciseness, and with this little one, it doesn't take a whole lot. It does take throttle control, but it's not near as detrimental of how high it is to how lacking of thrust it's got. So I think that's the only reason that I can fly that better. But or the fact that I flew it in my yard for like months. I sit in the kitchen when it's hot out and throw it out the window and fly off. Even if it landed upside down, I'd flip it over and fly off. and I just fly from the kitchen. That could be why I fly that better, because I spent, I don't know, man, quite a few months just flying that. I'd fly my 5 inches, but not near as much as the little guy here. Like
The small ones are fun.
it's been, yeah, and this one has taken a beating. Like I don't say that they're indestructible, but I have beat this thing to death and back. I've had to replace the camera a couple of times. I've had to replace the ESC, the flight controller, one motor, but the frame is like the original frame. I haven't had anything happen to it. I'm gonna knock on wood here. It's like I've got my last battery pack. Don't ever say that if you fly. Never say it's your last battery. Keep it quiet. That's when stuff gets broke. Oh man, stuff gets broke like crazy when you say it's the last battery.
Don't jinx yourself.
That's it. Gremlin's got to come in and grab it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Let's see. Let me look too, because I hate if I forget something has happened. Truck lady. Yes. Carpenter Rick. So nice to see you, Howie. Nice to see you. Small ones more convenient. Yeah. More indoors.
I agree.
The weather getting so cold.
Yeah.
It is. I'm even cold now. Hold on.
I mean, it was cold here last night. It was in the 30s. I think we had a freeze. I don't know. So I guess we got down to 33 degrees. I don't know. 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah. I mean, it was cold. It was cold. I could see my breath when I breathe out of my nose. So, it's chilly. Mm-hmm. When it's out of your mouth, that's like 40s, When it's out of your nose, you're in the 30s. But, yeah, definitely I wouldn't have wanted to go to the park last night and fly. That's for sure.
I jumped
100%.
Hey, Dan.
It was doing 32 this morning when I got online. I know that.
Oh, it wasn't too bad in my underwear. I mean, it was nice. Yeah. No wind.
You're crazy, Kim. You're crazy. Down in your underwear.
You got 8 inches of snow down there, Carpenter Rick?
Well, I was wearing my socks.
I really want to fly over like a big open field with like fresh powder. Like that's like my thing right now. I want to get into the spirit of flying in the snow.
Yeah. But I was going to do that this afternoon, but the fog came up and the mist and everything.
Yeah, it started misting, yeah.
Well, my spark was all ready to go up and everything, but no, couldn't do it.
Man. Sorry about that.
I think that's the height level before you wouldn't see the drone would be like 50 feet and it'd be gone.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Then you're gonna suffer problems.
Yeah, then you gotta deal with that avoidance thing going on. And if the fog's thick enough, it'll freak the quad out like you're about to run into something.
And fly off. It's like,
yep.
Yeah.
I tell you, if the quads are going to take off, right, without, and they can do what they want to do sometimes, right? Because if water gets on them, if anything shorts, then my advice is do not fly in your underwear.
Hey man, I've done the whole ride a wheelie on the motorcycle on the freeway in my tidy whities. So I mean, I'm not against it. If you're gonna do it. I mean,
Flight Trucks of Northwest, you came in the wrong part. We were talking just about drone flying until
Sorry about that, Trucks of North America. Now I'm embarrassed. It wasn't my highest moment in my life, I'll tell you that. You just can't let the dare go,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the funny thing is I don't think Kim was dared. I think he just did.
He wasn't dared.
That is different. That is different. I mean, I could understand if it was like a drone dare, you know, where you pass it on from video to video and you tag their channel in your video, you know. I could see that being a thing.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Canada's news line here. What's going to be in the news tomorrow? Quad news pilot. Oh my gosh, dare. Yeah, don't start that dare. We don't need that all
No,
through.
no, no, no.
Yeah,
Let's
cops,
not
quad
start
nudist.
that.
Oh my god.
Canada
Oh,
right tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the dare you don't want to give anybody.
Hey, decor.
We need to
It's like,
do
I'll do it with a tiny whoop.
Yeah.
we need to do it like kind of like a whoop off or something, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody does post them.
Oh my God.
Oh, watch, it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh God. But that's fine. That's fine. I think it would be good.
Yeah, just
Anything to inspire somebody to make a video.
might be a big hit.
You never know. It could be something passed around.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start it. You never know. That'll be something my wife's gonna have to record.
Oh my God.
As long as you don't do it,
Oh,
you park where there's kids. You'll be okay.
No. I'll wait till we move. I'll wait till we move and it's bleeding cold outside.
So I got to tell you guys, I have to work tonight. I got a call right before he went on that asked me if I could go to work. So
Okay,
and
Val.
sure I would. You know, Hadley, this was way fun, and I thank you so much and for sharing your story.
Yeah, I share it every once in a while, and I felt like sharing it tonight.
You're an inspiration, and I love it. I love it.
Good.
I love it.
Well, thank you for having me.
You have to come in more often.
I will. You know what? If you guys want to start having me on a certain night of the week with you or something, or during the morning, I'll jump on with you guys when I'm up and at 'em, and I've got time. I'm game for it. I'll keep recruiting too for the hub because we're getting some good people in there. Like oh man, there's like quite a few of them that I've recruited to the group. Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice to chat with them. I've been following them for a while, and it's nice to chat with them in the mornings, you know. Yes. So I'll keep doing it. Definitely.
Oh, Hadley, I appreciate that. So, guys, remember when you meet new flyers that are, especially the small channels, and they are trying to grow, and they don't have other people who understand what they're doing, that kind of thing. Invite them in the Canadian Drone Hub, guys, because that's where we meet them all. That's where I meet everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I go and most of the people I interview is coming straight off the Canadian Drone Hub. So, guys, remember that is a go-to place for everyone to get to know them.
Oh, yeah, and I'm always encouraging everybody, like, move out of your element of whatever you're comfortable with, because that's when the great things happen. You know, like me coming over here, it was out of my norm. And I think, Roger, you messaged me a while back at one point, and I'd never even replied to it. Like I saw it in my comments when I was going through some old videos the other night, and I was like, oh my God, if I would have contacted them that many months ago, I probably have a lot more subs. You know, but yeah, you know, everything happens for a reason. You know, I'm here at the right time because this is my time.
Yeah, I try to contact as many people I can, but
yeah.
We get more and more.
This is Hadley's Famous FPV. Hey, Adrian Lee.
I'm gonna put a comment in here.
Cool.
Yes, please do, so people can see you.
Yeah, I haven't done it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Zoning out there talking.
Yeah.
So what time
Adrian,
were you wanting to get off of here, Val?
Oh, I was going to be getting off in just a couple minutes because I have to drive all the way over there. So please go in
Okay.
there.
Adrian Lee, I had to resupport your channel. Your bell wasn't rung, so I just resupported your channel.
Okay.
Adrian Lee, I gave you a blue, so you will be a moderator. And so I know you've been in here before, or at least in Canadian Drone Hub, because I'm already subscribed to you. So thank you for coming in and sharing.
Yeah.
This is Hadley's Famous FPV. He's come in, told us a really inspiring story. So if you're coming at the end, go back in and watch that because it's very inspiring. And watch his videos, support his channel. He's a great
Yes,
vlogger.
please do. If you
Cool.
sub my channel, I'll sub you back. I'm not shy to having thousands of subs. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and we would like 100 in one day.
Yeah, right?
Can you just type in the bottom, say hi, Hadley? Just say hi, type your name in so people can support your channel in case they don't have you. There you go.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's Hadley's channel. Check him out.
Well, what's your numbers now, Hadley?
Yeah. I don't know at this present moment. Before we started, I was at like 560.
Okay.
562. So let's take a look here. We are at 565. So I gained 3 from the live stream. Thanks, guys.
Oh.
Thanks for subbing my channel. And if after we get off of here, I'll sub you back.
All right.
Definitely.
Ain't that dragon?
565. Yeah, that's right.
You're doing fast. You're going fast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's growing. It's growing quick. I'm super happy and thankful for it. It's you know, I don't even know what to say sometimes when I get all the subs. I'm just like, I got to make some more content. Got to keep them coming back and watching.
Yeah.
Keeps me motivated, man. I'm telling you, I like inspiring people. And if I can show somebody a new trick or an old trick or whatever, and they forgot about it, I think it's cool, you know, and you see it in their video. The next time you watch one of their videos, you're like, yes, I inspired somebody in some way, you know, and that's all it's about. I mean, you can inspire each other to be happy and have a good time. There'll be a lot less conflicts, I'm telling you.
Right.
There'd be so much less conflicts, you know, in the world. I don't think FPV is going to save the world, but I think it could help it if everybody, you know, had an experience with it. You know, RC of some sort, car. Like my wife, she's got an RC car and some goggles and a little camera on the car, and she plays with it every once in a while, and you know, every time she goes out and plays with it, though, the next day she's in a good mood, you know, and I don't say anything. I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to ruin it, you know. Yeah, it's a big deal, man.
Drones bring people together. You know, strangers walk
They
up
do.
here and ask questions, and next thing you know, you have a new friend.
Yeah.
Yep. I've made a lot of friends in my community out here where we live. There's I don't know, about 2,000 people, 2,500 people that live in the neighborhood, and I've probably met 30 people from going out to the park and flying that I would have never met. You know, I probably see them every day when I go to the pool in the summertime, but I don't talk to them. You know, it's not like I'm chatting with them. And now when I go to the pool, people say hi, and you know, and my wife's like, "God, you know a lot of people," and I'm like, I guess. It's cool. It's really cool to have people that you know, and you never know. What if you break down on the side of the road and one of those people see you and they stop and give you a ride home? You know, it's not a bad thing. You know.
Oh yeah, and it happens more often than you think.
Oh yeah, no, as you could have a brand new car and it break down on you, and you're stuck there. You know. In the summertime, if the engine breaks here, man, the heat will kill you if you're stuck on the side of the highway. So it's a big deal. Yeah.
Tekor, I just saw your email. I'm sorry. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Thank you, Starguy. Then we'll need to go to his and check it out too. Hey guys, thank you so much for coming in. I so appreciate all
Thank you.
the support. And thank you for coming and meeting Hadley on a more personal level. On Sunday, we're going to have Wolf, the WO, LF instead of the WULF. So I don't know if I can say that any different. Hi, Net Dragon. He's in here somewhere because a trick lady just said so. Guys, thank you so much. I wish I didn't have to go to work because I just want to stay with you. But I do have.
It's okay.
Thanks, Hadley. Bless you.
Okay, take care, Hadley.
Oh, thank you guys. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, bro.